It has killed things 3 times its size. Not by exhausting them, not by strangling them, not by waiting, by biting through their skulls. A single, precise, catastrophic bite to the back of the cranium, delivered in silence, from a darkness you never see coming. No other cat on earth can do this. Not the lion, not the tiger, not the leopard, only this one. The Amazon does not announce itself. It simply is, ancient beyond comprehension, layered beyond counting, breathing, a living architecture assembled across 10 million years of pressure and solution and pressure again, and somewhere inside it, something watches. The trees here have no memory of a world without it. The river has shaped itself over millennia around the weight of its presence. Even the silence here carries a particular quality, a texture that every creature in this forest has spent generations learning to read. When the forest goes quiet, when the birds stop, when the monkeys freeze, it means something. It means something is here, that was here before the birds, before the monkeys, before the river found its current shape, before almost everything. This is the Amazon basin. 5.5 million square kilometers of life, stacked so dense, so layered, so interlocked, that scientists believe fewer than 1 in 10 species here have ever been formally described. We are, in every meaningful sense, still discovering this place. The river alone contains more species of fish than the entire Atlantic Ocean. The canopy holds bird communities so complex, so varied, that researchers have spent entire careers studying a single hectare and still find things they cannot name. And within all of it, threading between the ancient ceiba trees and the dark mirror of the river, moving in a way that seems almost liquid, the jaguar, Panthera onca, the largest cat in the Americas, the 3rd largest in the world. But those numbers tell you almost nothing about what this animal actually is. Watch it move for 30 seconds, and you begin to understand. This is not a creature that inhabits the Amazon rainforest. This is a creature the Amazon rainforest made. It evolved here. It shaped the food web here. Every prey population in this ecosystem, every behavior pattern, every migration route, every instinct written into the body of every animal that shares this forest has been written in response to it. Remove the jaguar, and the entire architecture begins, slowly and inevitably, to come apart. The capybara populations explode. The caimans overhunt the riverbanks. The vegetation shifts. The river changes. Everything downstream of this animal changes. The jaguar's territory is enormous. A single adult male may range across 400 square kilometers of forest. In a landscape this vast, this impenetrable, this ancient, that means most jaguars live their entire lives without a human ever laying eyes on them. They pass through their world like smoke, like a thought the forest is having, here and then gone. Ghosts wearing rosettes. They are solitary. They are territorial. And they are, by almost every measurable standard, perfectly designed for the world they live in. The river is central to everything here. Unlike most large cats, lions, tigers, leopards, jaguars actively seek water. They swim. They hunt in water. They raise their young near water's edge. The Amazon's vast network of rivers, flooded forests, oxbow lakes, and blackwater channels, is not an obstacle to the jaguar. It is its home. During the wet season, when the forest floor disappears beneath meters of dark floodwater, when the entire landscape transforms into something that looks more like an inland sea than a forest, the jaguar adapts. Without hesitation, without confusion, without fear, it moves to higher ground, follows the retreating dry land, adjusts its entire hunting strategy in response to a world that reinvents itself completely. Every single year, most predators cannot do this. They are specialists, bound to a particular habitat, a particular prey base, a particular season. The jaguar does it effortlessly. This adaptability is not accidental. It is the result of 2 million years of continuous pressure, of evolution testing and refining. Again and again, a single blueprint for apex predation in the most complex ecosystem ever assembled on this planet. 2 million years. And still here. The rosettes. Every jaguar carries a unique pattern. No two animals in the world share the same arrangement. It is as individual as a human fingerprint, as specific as a signature. Scientists use these patterns to identify individuals in the field, building photo archives of animals that may never be directly observed, known only through a camera trap image taken at 3 in the morning, half hidden by roots, eyes catching the infrared flash like two embers in a darkness that has no bottom. But the rosette pattern is not decorative. It is functional. A three-dimensional camouflage system built with exquisite precision for exactly this environment. In dappled forest light, a jaguar 20 feet away can be completely invisible. Not hidden, invisible. The pattern fragments the outline, dissolves the boundary between animal and environment, turns a 90-kilogram predator into a trick of light and shadow, into something the eye passes over without recognizing what it has seen: the skull. This is where the jaguar truly separates itself from every other cat on Earth. The jaw muscles of Panther onca are proportionally larger than those of any other felid alive today. The bite force, measured at up to 1,500 pounds per square inch, is the most powerful, relative to body size, of any big cat on the planet. This is not simply impressive. It is strategically radical. Every other large cat kills by suffocation. The lion, the tiger, the leopard, all use the same fundamental method: clamping the throat, cutting off airflow, and then waiting. Minutes of stillness, minutes of effort, minutes during which the predator is locked in place, exhausted, vulnerable, unable to respond to anything else. The jaguar kills instantly. A single precise bite to the back of the skull, driving the canines between the vertebrae, or directly through the temporal bone of the cranium. Death is measured in fractions of a second. The evolutionary advantage is profound. A suffocation kill requires holding a struggling animal for minutes. The jaguar's kill requires seconds. It is back on its feet, alert, composed, watching the forest, before most other predators have even begun their wait. And its prey list is extraordinary. Over 85 documented species. Capybara, the world's largest rodent. Giant river otters. Tapirs, which can weigh 300 kilograms. Caimans, armored reptiles. Apex predators in their own right, pulled from the water with a single strike. Even anacondas, among the most formidable animals on Earth, have been documented as jaguar prey. The jaguar does not specialize. It dominates. Smell is its primary intelligence. A jaguar navigates its territory through an intricate, invisible map, built entirely from chemistry. Scrape marks in the soil, urine sprayed on tree trunks at maximum height, feces left at carefully chosen intersections of trails. Each deposit is a document, a message to every other jaguar within range, about identity, about body condition, about reproductive status, about territorial boundaries that must be respected. A female in estrus will walk her entire range, leaving a trail of scent that a male can follow across miles of forest. Crossing rivers he has never crossed, passing through territories that are not his own, driven forward by a biological imperative so precise, so insistent, it feels almost like language. And then there is the voice. The jaguar's call, technically known as a saw, is unlike any sound produced anywhere in the animal kingdom. A deep, rhythmic, reverberating pulse, like a chainsaw drawn slowly through hardwood. It carries for miles through the dense forest. It does not simply travel through the air. It moves through things, through trees, through water, through the bodies of every creature within range. When a jaguar calls in the darkness of the Amazon night, the entire forest changes. Every monkey within earshot freezes. Every bird on a sleeping branch pulls its feathers tight. Every caiman lowers itself a millimeter deeper into the water. The sound does not inspire curiosity. It inspires something older than curiosity, older than thought, something written in the nervous system, not learned, remembered. And then, slowly, silence rebuilds itself around the echo, and the forest breathes again. It is 4:30 in the morning, the dry season, and she has not eaten in 6 days. She is 7 years old. A female the researchers who have been tracking her for 3 years have named Ida, a Tupi word meaning stone. She weighs 92 kilograms. She knows every root system, every bend in the river, every sandbar in a territory that spans 230 square kilometers of forest, river, and floodplain. She has 2 cubs, 7 months old, hidden in a dense tangle of Cecropia roots 4 kilometers to the east. They are old enough to need meat now, old enough that milk alone is no longer enough. They cannot wait much longer. She knows this. She moves along the riverbank without a sound. Her paws find each placement with a precision that seems impossible for an animal of her size, 90 kilograms, moving through dry leaves, snapping wood, crumbling soil, without a single audible footfall, not one, in 4 kilometers of movement. The river is low. Sandbars have emerged from the receding water. Dark, wet sand in the first hour before dawn. And caimans come to these bars in the pre-dawn hours to absorb what warmth remains in the sand from the previous day's sun. Their blood is cold. They need this. She smells one. 200 meters ahead, invisible in the darkness. She adjusts her angle, moving downwind, lowering her profile until her belly is almost at the sand. And the stalk begins. The stalk. For 11 minutes, she moves, covering 200 meters, in increments so small, they barely register as movement. She pauses when the wind shifts. She freezes mid-step, one foreleg raised and suspended in the air for 3 full minutes. When the caiman raises its head, she does not breathe visibly. She does not shift her weight. The raised leg does not tremble, does not descend. It holds for 3 minutes without contact with the ground. She is, for all practical purposes, not there. At 12 meters, She stops. The caiman is 1.5 meters long, old, scarred along the left flank from some encounter in its past that it survived. It is facing the water, its back to the forest, its skull exposed. It does not know she is here. It has no idea that 12 meters behind it, across open sand, something is watching it with amber eyes and absolute certainty. She launches from stillness to full speed in a single motion. No crouch, no wind up, no telegraph preparation. The gap closes in under a second. The caiman spins, jaws opening in a reflex. 100 million years of reptile evolution has refined into something extraordinary. And it is not enough. Her jaws find the base of its skull with a precision that is almost surgical. And then, silence. She stands over the caiman for a long moment, breathing hard, flanks moving visibly. She looks at the river. She looks at the forest edge. Then she looks down at the caiman one more time. And then she takes it in her jaws. All of it. Nearly 30 kilograms of armored reptile. And she carries it into the forest without effort, without hesitation, as though the weight were nothing at all. For kilometers. She walks for kilometers through pre-dawn darkness, with a caiman in her jaws, back through the root systems, back across the stream crossing, back up the slight rise to the Cecropia roots, back to the two small, urgent shapes that have been waiting there, hungry and impatient, since yesterday. When she arrives, they are on her immediately, climbing over her shoulders, vocalizing in soft, urgent chirps, more like birds than apex predators, more like need than sound. She sets the caiman down, steps back, and watches them eat. She does not eat herself. Not yet. First she watches. This is not sentimentality. This is the cold, clear calculus of survival. Cubs that grow, cubs that strengthen, cubs that one day master the river and the forest and the darkness the way she has mastered it. Carry her biology, her 2 million years of accumulated solution, forward into the next century of this place. She is not just feeding her young. She is feeding the future of the Amazon. Pull back now. Pull far back, to the altitude where the Amazon becomes a concept rather than a place. A vast, breathing green that holds 10% of all the species on Earth, produces 20% of the planet's fresh water, and absorbs, every single year, billions of tons of carbon that would otherwise hang in the atmosphere above all of us. All of us. And inside all of that, she sleeps. In the roots of a fig tree, beside a river that has no name on any map. 2 cubs pressed against her flanks, their small ribs rising and falling in the particular rhythm of total safety. Breathing. Panther Anka has been walking this forest for 2 million years. It walked here when our own species was still learning to shape stone. It walked here through ice ages, through flood ages, through the slow upthrust of the Andes and the complete reshaping of the river systems that followed. It walked here before the Amazon was the Amazon, when this basin was an inland sea, and the forest that replaced it was something no human eye has ever seen. It is one of the oldest, most continuous success stories in the history of vertebrate life on this planet. And yet, today, its range has been reduced by more than half of what it once was. Habitat loss, fragmentation, the slow, relentless conversion of ancient forest into pasture and soy, and the expanding edges of cities that grow outward year by year into the green. Of the estimated 64,000 jaguars that remain wild today, most live in patches, islands of forest, separated from each other by roads and farmland and human infrastructure that a jaguar cannot cross without dying. 64,000. In a species with this range, this history, this place in the architecture of life on Earth. 64,000. Conservation efforts are underway across Brazil, Bolivia, Colombia, Peru. Researchers, indigenous communities who have lived alongside this animal for centuries, and government agencies are working together to establish wildlife corridors, strips of protected habitat that reconnect the islands, that allow animals to move, to find mates, to maintain the genetic diversity that keeps a species alive across generations. It is slow work, it is expensive work, and it is, by any honest accounting, a race against time. But here, tonight, in this unnamed bend of river, none of that weight is visible. There's only the sound of water moving over stone, the calling of a distant nightjar, and the soft, even breathing of 3 jaguars beneath a sky so full of stars. It seems almost unreal. She will hunt again tomorrow. Her cubs will grow. One day they will leave her, as she once left her own mother, and find their own rivers, their own territories, their own darkness to learn, their own silence to master. The Amazon will hold them, for as long as the Amazon itself holds. And that is the oldest bargain in this forest. It has always been. It is still.